I have this tier list I quickly threw together. I was thinking about Kitten Burst again. And it's a fantastic game. And I was thinking of just quickly doing a Kitten Burst boss tier list off the top of my head. Mind you, it's been a while since I've played through all of the bosses. But why the hell not? You know? It's for gits. It's for shiggles. So, first boss in the game. Well, I guess technically the first boss would be uh Chaos Butterfly. Chaos Butterfly is pretty easy, but also like still kind of a good time. I like Chaos Butterfly. It's the boss in the demo, so I'm gonna put it first. Bullet patterns aren't too crazy. It's a good introduction to the both boss fight and also endless boss fights. So it's good practice for the future as well. Then after that is um Guard Dog. And I don't remember Guard Dog that well. Guard Dog was a little forgettable. You fought Guard Dog recently, right? Paper? I remember you've been playing through it. Woof. Yeah, indeed. I like that the bullets are woofs. I forgot about that. In that case, I'll put Guard Dog, like... Let's move Chaos Butterfly over here. And Guard Dog, like, what, there? No, I think the endless nature of Guard Dog, or Chaos Butterfly makes it a little more fun. So I think about that. I think that's a good spot. And then Copycat. I don't remember fighting much. I don't remember Copycat. It's been a long time and my memory is terrible. Um, Let me pull up. Is it cheating to pull up my own VODs for reference? Nah. Okay, well, I'm gonna do it either way. Okay, looking back at the bullet patterns for Copycat, it was definitely more challenging. I feel like Copycat is like the first real challenging fight. I'm not sure if I'd say it was more fun than Dog, though. I'm gonna put it on par with Dog. I'm gonna put it on par with Guard Dog. Okay, the next boss, and it's chronologically the next boss is Trust Me. Trust Me is immediately going bottom left. This is a hot take maybe for like all three Kitten Burst fans. I think Trust Me is the hardest boss in the entire game. What if it was called Chibi Gabo and he carried around a plug to put into various holes? I have great news for you, Jay Lumali. That is exactly what Chibi Robo is. Kiki! Stop trying to find plastic to munch. Nah, but, fucking Trust Me.exe has some of the hardest bullet patterns to follow because it's just a bunch of pixel vomit and it's not very clear where they are in 3D space. And then you have pop-ups. And pop-ups in boss fights suck. There's only one other boss fight that does pop-ups. And that was also really challenging. But I genuinely think Trust Me is, like, worst boss. Not fun at all. That said, immediately right after Dog Rip Manager is the most fun boss. I think Dog Rip Manager's the best boss. I think that's a skill issue. Come back to me when you've actually played Kitten Burst. You should. It's great. It's great. It should be on console. I would love Kitten Burst to be on console. I'm gonna put Dog Rip Manager a little bit harder. But on top of having the best boss theme, the Flappy Bird segment is really fun. And it's overall just a good time, I think. Kitten Burst feels like it was made to be played on that Xbox 360 PS3 era. Oh, absolutely. Next is Deltree. I think Deltree's a little easier than Dog Rip. Not as fun either, but also still really good. I like Deltree's gimmick of having the foresight of where the bullets are going to be, and then they just appear there. The sort of teleporting laser beams. I think it's really cool. And I think the only other boss that does it is Nightmare, which makes sense, because that's just how Nightmare is. Also good music. That can be said for, like, pretty much every boss, though. That's not really the craziest plus. But, next is Penguin of Doom. I remember Penguin of Doom being pretty challenging. I remember to Penguin of Doom being pretty rough. Kitten Burst. Air control a cat through some tight spaces and bullet hell bosses, being instructed by an anarchist activist who wants to fuck up Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse hellscape. Yeah, that's pretty much Kitten Burst. I'm not like... This is going to be an insanely spicy take, too. Especially because I'm not like... I'm not a Sonic hater. I'm Sonic neutral. But I think, Kitten Burst has the makings of, like, the core gameplay... The core gameplay of Kitten Burst, I think, is actually... It reminds me of Sonic, but in, like, a better way. Having these big open worlds that you make your own path to collect all of the different points. And also having, like, the full 3D space instead of just being limited to gravity. I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, it wouldn't work because Sonic has gravity. He can't fly. Unless he's super. But I don't know, it reminds me of Sonic. As a major Sonic fan, I think it's normal to say, man, I wish Sonic was like this game. Okay, good to know. I know that it's especially hard with 3D Sonics. They're very either hit or miss. Speaking of Sonic, this is apparently controversial. I don't know if it's still controversial, but growing up, I remember this being controversial. I thought Unleashed was pretty good. Unleashed was a pretty good Sonic game. The best 3D Sonic is Colors. That I've played, at least. Generations was also really good, but I think Colors is just a bit better. Anywho, the Scholar. I'm gonna put Scholar... We got like a bell curve here, kinda. Scholar is I think Scholar's the best Endless boss. He's the most fun, but he gives a consistent challenge. Liking Colors is spicy. Really? People don't like Sonic Colors? Is it because, like, half of it is just 2D? And then the 3D segments are kind of on railsy? I can believe that. Anyway, you know what? I'm actually gonna put... I think I'm gonna put To Penguin of Doom into frustrating a little bit. We're too positive right now. We need to have a little more frustration. I guess that just goes to show how well designed all of the bosses other than Trust Me are. You know, I'll put To Penguin of Doom on the line. But Shiver... You know what? I feel like Shiver was easier than Te. And it might have just been because of the soundtrack. In fact, it's almost certainly just because of the soundtrack. But Shiver is probably the second best boss theme. And having all of those shark tooth and then the giant jaws come at you is just sick. You know what? There. Lastly, we got the endgame bosses, which were Cerberus. I don't remember Cerberus very much. I think Cerberus is true neutral. Maybe a bit more on the challenging end. I think right there. Colors is solid, just lacking comparatively. Far from my fave, but OOG, that soundtrack makes me want to waggle my finger and sway my hips. Oh, absolutely. Banger soundtrack, Colors. I think it overall has my favorite Sonic soundtrack. Which, that is something I think Sonic is consistently good with. I think Sonic soundtracks are consistently banger. I'm looking back at my fight against Cerberus. I think Cerberus has made a lot... Ooh, actually, this is pretty tough. You know what? I think Cerberus might be harder than Te. I'm glad I went back to check, because these bullet patterns are actually kind of insane. OOG is me making cave woman noises. Oh, oog. The secret boss. I never actually fought the secret boss on stream. But I went back and played it because I wanted to get every achievement. It was there. I think it's like the weakest of the songs of boss themes. And it's very interesting. You get a full 360 area to move around, sort of like Cosmo the Scholar, but it's also very thin. It's much thinner than Cosmo the Scholar. Kiki, what are you doing? Oh, whatever. So I think their name was Zadra. Hold on, let me check. Zerda. That's their name. Sonic Adventure 1 is my favorite soundtrack in the game and the series, period. And yeah, Sonic OSTs tend to be great. Lately, they've been focusing on EDM more than hard rock. I like EDM, but man, it was super... Yeah, it can get kind of homogenous. Which is a shame, too, because I feel like with EDM, you have the chance to get a lot weirder and experimental. And it kind of sucks that it seems like they aren't doing that. And then lastly is Nightmare. You know what? No, Nightmare's easier easier than Trust Me. Trust Me is way harder. I think Nightmare goes here. Cough, cough, play No Straight Roads. That is on my list. I have it on my Steam library right now. I've been meaning to play it. I just keep thinking, I want to play this first. And then once I finish that, a different game that I want to play comes out. But now that I've beaten Unbeatable, and seeing that it has No Straight Roads crossover, I think I will. It's getting there. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll do No Straight Roads after In Stars in Time. That could be fun. Yeah, here we go. This is my thoughts based off of vague memories of my Kitten Burst playthrough. This is what I think of each boss. I love In Stars in Time, but I regret making my first experience on the Switch 1. What's wrong with the Switch 1 port? Hi, wife. Do you have a cat on your shoulder?
I didn't put her here.
What do you mean you didn't put her here?
She decided to crawl on me like a bug. So I grabbed her.
Kiki, are you a bug? I can tell she's being whiny. Did we feed her?
Mm-hmm.
Did you feed her? Okay, because I don't remember feeding her.
Fed her, and I thought, okay, maybe I gave her some extra food. Added it.
Maybe she didn't find it all and she's mad.
No, she found it all.
Oh. She's just mad anyway. You are the embodiment of gluttony, Kiki. What the hell are you... Get off my wife! Freak! Crawling around my wife like an absolute deranged insect. And Stars in Time lags like crazy everywhere. My husband was confused why the game was running at half speed compared to his playthrough on PC. Made battles obnoxiously long, and with a game of its structure, I'm surprised I came out loving it. Though never got a Switch 2 patch, the game runs infinitely better and does not lag, period. That's good to hear, at least. Okay, well, with my silly little tier list done,